Howdy, howdy. Hey, Brian. Hope you guys are doing great on this Sunday evening at 5:30, even though it feels like 4:30, thanks to our incredible daylight savings time. It's it's a beautiful day out. We went down to Long Beach today. If you're familiar with the LA area, Long Beach is about half an hour or so from where we live, and sunny and 75 and beautiful outside, and then on the way home you can see snow on the mountains, because we do live at the foot of the mountains, and God, I just love that so much. It's honestly one of my favorite things about living out here is is days like today where it's beautiful out and I'm in a t-shirt and I can see snow on the mountains, and it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. I love it. So today we have I was bold and I took one of the graphite black coated Apollo kits out of stock. Hey, Bruce. Took one of the black kits out of stock to turn tonight, mostly because I wanted to make one, but also just to show off this blank, because I felt like the black complemented this blank really nicely. This is a Midnight Rider blank, and the Midnight Rider is one of my favorites, and this particular one had some bubbles when I cut it, which is why it never went into stock, and so it's been sitting in my drawer of projects for Kate to deal with for a while now. But I think that here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's only surface bubbles. But I wasn't able to put it in stock because of the bubbles, and I think that we'll be able to work with it. But also this little figure that came out on the surface, I'm really hoping is indicative of the swirls inside of this thing. And this is definitely one of those blanks that's a total sleeper, because it's so dark. It's actually a pretty darn dark blank, but I think that it's one of our best. Honestly, it's one of my favorites. But these darker mixes, it's like this one, Sky Full of Stars, and a couple of others that I can't really get to off the top of my head, but those two in particular, where the blank is incredibly dark, so it's hard to photograph, but then when you turn it, it is just like magnificent, the color that comes out of it. So today we're gonna be doing Midnight Rider. Maybe we'll do Sky Full of Stars sometime soon too, because that's another one that's just prettier than the photos capture. But yeah, Midnight Rider today. I've already got the body on the lathe. This is a fountain pen, so we've got our black nib all ready to go for this bad boy, which I'm really excited about. I think it's gonna look awesome, so let me flip the camera around and we can get to work. Look how nice it looks outside. Gosh. Alright. Let's get you guys sorted. It's trying to settle like a little further than I wanted it to. Hang tight, hang tight. Okay. I gotta adjust this arm. All right, that looks beautiful. Okay, so get this up a little tighter. I believe it was Garrett that was making fun of me for having a 6-inch long tool rest on this thing, but you know, it's actually the smallest one I have, so. Yeah, so there's definitely a couple little bubbles. This is what I was curious about, was how bad are the bubbles actually? Yeah, but there's definitely a few. It's obnoxious. Yeah, definitely a lot of little bubbles in this one. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's more than I find appropriate. But that's okay. That's why God made CA. Right? Oh, I don't like that noise. I imagine that this tool... Hey, Kevin. I imagine that this tool probably needs a switcheroo on the carbide. Yeah, look at that chatter. Awful. Awful. What is this, amateur hour? So, let me see if I can find my little hex key for this thing, because Lord knows I don't put it back. Oy, oy, oy. Alright. Let me put a fresh side on this. How's everybody doing tonight, by the way? Everybody survived the time change all right? Man. This thing just wants to scream. It's tough when you don't have a tube in there to keep it steady. And then on top of that, you got all these bubbles to deal with. I'm going to try using the square radius tool, and hopefully the lower amount of contact area will help. Seems to be better. Jeebus. So bad. Well, I definitely want to turn past that. I don't like that one bit. Yeah, there's a reason that this blank didn't make it into stock. I'm really struggling with that middle section. I don't know if it's because of the amount of bubbles. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. Hey, Chris. Do that middle section with the round. Hey, you know, dude, this blank is a little angry. So I was telling everybody before you got here that this blank, it never made it into stock because I knew it had bubbles in it, and it has more bubbles than I thought it did. So I just don't know if it's even salvageable. And I'm starting to feel like it was a mistake putting it on this beautiful black kit when it's got all these little imperfections in it. Because it's not up to my standards. Alright, I think that's as far as I'm willing to turn it. But we have to try sanding some of this, and I don't have a lot of confidence in it, guys. But we'll never know unless we try. So, go ahead and get this set up here. We do not need Zona paper right this second. And we're gonna... This is 400. I don't think that's gonna be rough enough to get these out, but we'll give it a shot. I've got 220 if we need it. This blank is also a little on the long side. And I don't want to sand the black off down here, so... Yeah, I'm probably going to fill it with CA. I just need to prep the surface before I can do that. Alrighty. Yeah, see, this is the crazy thing. It's like, it's not like they're little tiny specks. They're like really big circles. It's kind of a pain in the butt. It's almost like I'm going to try and get that one out because this one's really bad. And yeah, see? So what it looks like happened is like the bubbles filled with resin, but so it's leaving this like witness line around it. It's kind of nuts. But let's wipe it down with some alcohol, and then we can put a little CA on this and try and save it. I mean, it sure is a beautiful blank. It's a shame it's got an issue, but... Trying to make sure I really get this thing clean. Alright, so I've got some BSI CA with the cap glued on. Okay, there we go. And we'll run the lathe real slow. Hey, happy early birthday. Alright, so I got a finger cut, and we're just gonna go ahead and ah, damn it. Sorry for cursing, I got CA on my fingers. Little activator. Alright, I guess we just see how we did, right? I mean... Oh, Chris, you're gonna have a great time. Alright, let's see how that turned out. I don't have a lot of faith right now. Yeah, still some bubbles. Man, this is brutal. Alrighty. So, let's, just gotta get that little white pocket out there. So, I was just going with a thin CA, but some of these are so big, I think we're gonna have to go upgrade ourselves to the medium. I'm not happy about it. I am not happy about it. I'm telling you right now. My dogs are barking and I don't know why. They're going crazy. Oh, somebody's walking a dog. Jeez. Freaking nuts. They are so nuts. Alright, here we go. Medium action. Trying to be very careful up on this edge here because I really don't want it to roll over the edge. Because I really, really do not want to get it on the black hardware. Let's see if I can. There we go. Hey, Kev. You're not too late. All you missed was me being frustrated with a blank with bubbles. It's one of those blanks I never let go into stock because I knew that it had some issues, and now in my attempt to save it, I am letting myself get frustrated, which is honestly the worst thing you can do in the shop. This is going to be an Apollo, and it's on the black hardware that we just released. Yeah, man, it's looking good, except I really don't like using CA on just like solid resin. get in there. I think it's a waste of time. I know some people CA over Illumilite all the time, but I really can't stand doing it. So this is like my nightmare, to be honest. So we'll let that sit for a second. Yeah, it's not great. I don't know. I mean, that one right there sucks. Well, I'm certainly not thrilled with it, but we've already spent about 25 minutes on just this blank. And I feel like it's going to need a lot more help than this. Yeah, it's the graphite color, the black one. Man, what a bummer. Yeah, I had to be fancy and give them all freaking crazy names, right? The red is crimson, the blue is sapphire, but it's just black. Could have called it carbon black, but that's the name of the divine black pigment, so I was like, gotta come up with something else. You know. Because I can't leave well enough alone. Oh, yeah, see, I definitely get how that's confusing. Dang. Alright, I'm not going to polish this all the way up because I have some ideas of how to fix this with maybe some UV resin or something. So, I'm just going to give it the green Zona paper and see how that looks. And then maybe I can do some like real surgery on it later. Or maybe we'll do that in another video. We'll perform that surgery because this is not. All good, Chris. You didn't miss much. I mean, God, the blank is beautiful. You know, there's no doubt about that. But I think maybe if I get a really fine tip needle and squirt some UV resin in these spots, we'll have a much better outcome with it. So let's go ahead and part it off. It's also extra long, so I'm probably going to part it off like right above that bubble. Because let's see, it needs to be like 2.5 inches long. So let's see. Oh God, I'm sorry, 3.5 inches. I was like, wait, what? Yeah, so I mean that's where we need to be. And honestly, like, you know, you can really get away with like down here, but I'm gonna part that end off. I'm actually gonna mark it where that bubble is. Yes, the Apollo is the smaller of the two. So we were playing this, we went to a game night last night with some of our friends, me and Joe, and we were playing this game called Seven Wonders. Hold on. And so Seven Wonders, you can play up to 7 players. Yeah, see, look at that. Another little bubble right in the end there. This thing's starting to piss me off. So yeah, Seven Wonders of the World was the game, and everybody gets assigned a wonder. And I happened to get the Temple of Artemis as my wonder. And I thought that was really funny. Because you draw cards to pick. I was trying to... Nah. I was trying to just put a corner on it, but it's not really working out. This thing's really jumpy because of all the bubbles. So you can really feel it in there. So, let me grab that sandpaper. Let me get a really nice corner profile on that. Alright, cool. We were able to sand that out. That's nice. I mean, I think it looks great with the black, and I think that it's a really beautiful blank. If I can figure out how to get some of these little voids to fill in, I think we're really in business here. And honestly, once I parted that end off, it's really just 2 or 3 bad voids. It's not looking nearly as bad, but I think I'm going to have to really aggressively sand this to get that CA off because I'm not happy with that. And then I'll clean it, and then I'll have to order one of those really thin, like blunt needles to fill those in. But that's okay. That is a problem for future Kate to deal with. So let's hope that the cap is somewhat better. But I can't guarantee anything. So the cap has just as many voids as the body. You can hear them as I'm turning. It kind of goes like doot, 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 as it hits these little bubbles. And I think the biggest bummer here is that I had the grain aligned perfectly on these 2 blanks. So I am determined to save them, but yeah, this one's definitely looking better than the other one. Actually, let's part it off. actually looking pretty good. It's only got a couple little things on it. I do have a backup blank for us because I knew that this one might be an issue. So maybe we'll turn that since we're gonna have some time left. Let me get a new piece of sandpaper on this one. I don't typically feel the need for 400 Abernet on resin blanks, but I'm trying to be a little more aggressive and sand past those bubbles and give us like a good profile and break the edge on that cap, things like that. So whoop. Dropped my squirt bottle in the trash can. Chris, I just saw your comment about making your own blanks. It takes a lot of practice. It is not something you're going to get, overnight. It is a expensive and time-consuming process to figure out. I do really love the blank. Alright, let's flip you guys around real quick. Hi. there's resin shavings everywhere. Okay, so here's where we're at. We got the body and the cap. I'm gonna call this rough turned. And I got like a perfect grain alignment on these two also, so I'm like, yeah, right there. Let me see. Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, it's really nice. This is not a blank that looks very good with a matte polish, in my opinion. I think it looks a lot better when you take it to a high gloss, but with these little micro issues, it's like I think I'm gonna have to individually fill each one of these, because like I don't know if you can see this one right there. Yeah, like I'm gonna have to individually doctor these up, so that honestly doesn't sound like fun for a live stream. It doesn't sound like that will be an enjoyable process to watch. So I will do that on my own time. And then I will come back and we'll repolish it maybe next week. In the meantime, I have my first ever blanks cast with this new Thermoset resin. And I know it's not really new anymore, but it's new to me. And it took a lot of convincing, and I completely screwed up the first pour, so I will give you the caveat that this was supposed to be a Fire on the Mountain blank, and it does not look like one. But that being said, the more important part is seeing if I like how it turns. So, let's get this thing squared up. I'll show you how I do that. And then we can turn this bad boy and salvage this live stream somewhat, if y'all don't mind. And I will say I do not want to sand this blank flush without the vacuum on, so I apologize in advance. It's going to be a little loud for the next 5 minutes, maybe less. So let's go ahead and get you guys sorted here. Yeah, that'll do. And then we get Jacob's truck. Wrong drawer. And then got crank that down. All right. And then this is a Professor kit, so I'm gonna sand that goop off first. So give me 1 second. Now, before we can do much else, I have to clear out this tube because I made a mess. So, typically, if the mess is minimal, I can just take a knife and scrape it out. But this might be too much. Yeah, this is too much. So, we're gonna grab a drill bit that fits down in that tube. So pardon me while I try out a few different sizes. Yeah. So I don't know what the size is. It is 21/64. That fits in there. Perfect. So show you what I do here. It's a little unorthodox, but oh no, okay. I thought that my drill chuck was messed up. So usually I do this where I'm anchoring the drill on something. So for right now, I'm just gonna anchor it on my tool rest. And then I actually grip the blank really tight and pop that epoxy out. So you can see there's still a little, let's see, some epoxy schmutz in there. So then you can take the drill and really get that cleaned out. Now I'm just going to take a knife and scrape out the excess. Because at this point there's just a little tiny bit in there and it's perfect for the tip of the knife. Check the other side and make sure that that is squeaky clean also. So yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people plug the tubes. I don't have time for that. If that's what you do, that's great, good for you. But for me, it's just too many additional steps on the glue up. So here we have a punch that fits in there real nice. Get our stuff set back up and get rid of this set of punches. And get this in here. Just cranked all the way down. And we're just gonna open that up big enough to accept this punch. All right, let me turn on the vacuum. So I don't know if you guys were able to hear that, but I'm actually listening for the change in the tone when it hits the brass. I can actually hear it better than I can feel it. So that's a tip from me to you on how I do that. So now let's get this guy out of there. Put our live center back in, get rid of this. And get our Professor bushings, which I don't remember if I put away or not. I think I did. So the Professor is one of my favorite ballpoint kits. So I actually use these a lot. And these bushings are from our friend Brian in the house at TBC Bushings. They are beautiful. Turn between centers. They are dirty, but that is on me, not on Brian. So I'm just going to soften the edge of this with a little chamfer tool. It'll help the bushings go in a little smoother. Yeah, dog. I think it does have another name, but I can't remember what it is. I don't have a completed one out here, but you know, you'll see soon enough. It's a Dayacom kit. So. All right. Damn ribbons. These ribbons are very aggressive today. Aggressive. These ribbons are very aggressive. God damn. Trying to kill me. They're like attacking me. Jeez, ew. Nick! What's up, brother? Thank you for gracing us with your presence, my guy. Alright, let's take a look. God, I'm covered in shavings. Hey, Nick, this is from that pour I sent you photos of where I didn't make sure that there were plugs in the tubes. It's looking good. Get out of here. Hey man, I'm happy I at least salvaged this. Are you kidding me? That's fresh off the tool? What? It's... God damn with these ribbons though, man. So I definitely have CA on these bushings from the last time I used them, so that's my bad for not cleaning that up. Oh gosh. You know, guys, Nick has been telling me to try this resin for over 2 years, and I finally did, and now I'm mad because I really like it. I mean, and that's on a bad pour too. So let me let's switch some things out so we can polish this up. Oh god, this is a mess. I'm gonna have to vacuum after this. This is crazy. I hope you guys know that I love you because I'm running this without the dust collector and I'm making a huge mess. And it's really, truly just because I love you. Alrighty, where is my other center? Great. Okay. So, I always polish between these, what are these called? I forget. Non-stick bushings, so that I don't wear down my nice bushings. The lathe is an absolute wreck right now. It's so messy. Alright. Here we get a cactus juice bag to catch our water and stop it from going on the ways. I lost my green Zona that I just had somewhere along the way, so brand new pack it is for us. And most importantly, always mark the back side of the white so you don't get confused. Alrighty. Well, let's see if this stuff polishes as nice as everybody says. Dude, it's like you can already tell. Well, you can tell I'm impressed because I'm stunned silent. I think I just ran out of magic juice out here, so let me go old school with it. I'm gonna go old school. We're gonna use plastics. Wow. Squeaky. Dang, guys. Nick, I hate you. Not really. You're one of my favorites. Wow. That's pretty insane. It's got a couple little micro scratches in it still. I mean, probably just because I always feel a little rushed when I'm sanding, polishing on the live stream because, you know, I don't want to subject you guys to watching me sand and polish. So, let's go on a little road trip. Oh God, sorry. So, let's go over to the buffing wheel real quick. So, my buffing wheel, please don't judge me, is currently outside in the carport because we've just been dealing with way too much moving and shaking around here, and that's where it ended up. And as long as I can plug it in, it doesn't really matter, but it's also not ideal. So let me get a extension cord, because if this is going to be my very first test of this particular resin, I want to make sure that I get it buffed, and since I'm currently out of magic juice, I am going to put it on the buffing wheel. Apologies for the chaos, but that's how I live my life. So, I'll plug this in. Great. Come on. One-handed is not easy. Hope you guys enjoy this. Gosh, alright. Hey, look at that. It's a buffing wheel in a bunch of chaos out here. It's truly the story of my life. My stick has seen better days, so... I think this might only need the white. And I definitely cannot do this one-handed, so... Well, maybe I can. Let's see. Not my typical method, but I think it'll work. Alright. I think that looks amazing. Hi, Bowie! Hi, Bowie! So, let's go ahead. Dang. Hold on. Let me just stop for a second. Can you guys even... Just... Damn. Alright. Hi. I hope you guys enjoy the silliness. So, that's my drill press. We're gonna press this kit together. I don't know if I have one of these kits in gunmetal, but I think gunmetal would look best. So let me just take a peek. I have a whole lot of them in antique silver, that's for sure. Haha! Gunmetal! Nailed it! Alright. Actually, let me move you guys. I forgot I have this mount. Sweet, thank you. That is definitely much appreciated. Alright, so that's the drill press. I just had the kit. Okay, so here's the kit. Let's go ahead and... I'm just gonna dump it out on the table here so I can get all my parts put together. So, the main two parts of the Professor, it has this finial on the end, right? So I think we've got this really huge red spot, so I think I'm going to go right across there with that. Kind of break up that red visually. And then on the nose cone, come on, get out of there. Actually has a little coupler that unscrews. And I don't like pressing my kits together on the points. So we will go ahead and put that coupler in. Grab that clamp. And then Yeah, so I just I had a regular pen press, to be clear, like a normal person, and it broke after using it only a handful of times. It was one of the ones from PSI, and it was like just really, it broke in the metal, like the metal snapped, which was crazy. It was just really poorly made, and so but I saved the little nylon thingamajig that presses it together, and now I just use it in my drill press. So, you know, it's all good. All of my good ink is inside, and since I already took you on one adventure, I'll spare you from another. But I never use these. These are not great. I mean, the Dayacom ones are better than most, but I would typically be putting an EasyFlow 9000 or something like that in this. Like at the bare minimum, a P900 from Schmidt, but the EasyFlow 9000 is my go-to. But I don't have any out here right now, and the stock room is even worse than my shop at the moment. So so here's what I did. I just dropped the ink in there, put the spring on, and then, oh dang, I forgot. It's got this little wax ball that actually, there we go. I dropped it. So the wax ball doesn't actually go through the nose cone real easy. So you gotta have to like, wait, why won't that go in? Oh, I got the spring backwards. Alright. So then you just twist that guy together, and you got yourself a finished ballpoint pen. I always prefer the ones with a finial on the back, mostly because, oh my god, I can't hang on to anything today. So, Joe, who's my partner, and we've been together 8 years now, he's left-handed, and when he writes with a pen where the front of it twists, like a Sierra or a Monarch, it actually untwists as he writes because he's left-handed. So I have made the switch and exclusively make kits where they twist on the back. They twist at the finial instead. I think that this came out beautifully. I think that that looks awesome. So I think I'm going to retitle this live stream One Success and One Failure. Not that this is necessarily a failure for forever, but it's definitely a failure for today. It's just got too many bubbles in it, and I was really hoping we could save it. But at this point, I don't know that it's worth it. It's just a piece of resin. It's just a blank, you know, and even though the swirls in it are like superb, I just don't know if it's worth saving. So maybe what we'll do is, if anybody's interested in trying to save it, I can send it to you. If nobody's interested, I'll try and save it myself. But I think that turned out great. And this was, just so you know, this was a nightmare of a pour where everything went wrong. And so these blanks will not be going into stock like I had planned because, well, because they don't look right. Typically, with Fire on the Mountain, you don't have mostly red and then mostly copper. It's very swirly back and forth with the red and the copper and the black. And, yeah, so this one clearly didn't pass my inspection, but yeah, I'm happy with how it came out. I'm happy with the resin. It turned great. It polished even better, and you know, it's pretty awesome. I think that's it for me for tonight. We've been at it over an hour, so I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I hope we got through the Sunday scaries together, and I hope you have a great week. If you're interested in t-shirts, you can get yourself a fresh one that's not covered in resin shavings on the Bullseye website. This particular one oh yeah, so this one has a Bullseye thing on the back. Some of our other t-shirts have it on the sleeve. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know what else. Hopefully in the next couple of months we have a lot of new stuff to share with you. There's a lot of stuff that we're working on. I'm looking at some of it on my bench. And None of it's quite ready for you guys yet, but I'm working really hard to make sure that it is soon, and the rest of my family is as well. So I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. Please share what you're working on in the Facebook group. If you're on the East Coast, I hope you're heading out to the Mid-Atlantic Turners Expo next weekend. Have a great time. Hassle Michael Harden for me. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great week. I will catch you later. Peace. Bye.